Thanks, Stacey. Can I just say hello to everyone? My name is Soney. I work in the PA motor neurone team, and I've been with Queensland Health for over 13 years, working with people with a terminal illness and working to find the best situation for their carers as well. So Stacey and the team from Motor Neurone Queensland have asked me to talk about carer stress and burnout. So I'm unsure who's online that is a carer or who has MMD, but I'll keep on going and then we'll have a chat at the end. So the last 2 weeks alone, I've encountered around 4 or 5 carers that have hit extreme limits and on the verge of carer extreme stress, or what we would call burnout. So let's just start by who is a carer. So a carer is someone who takes on the responsibilities to ensure that another person is safe or looked after. Now that can be helping out with a little, might only be supervision when we first start, or it can be helping out a lot. The carers also had numerous roles in the family or society prior to this new role. And the carer role in the family may even now be reversed. Before this, it might have been that you were caring for someone else, and now that's been reversed. So the stress on carers. Caring is constant. There is limited to no breaks, and at times there's unrealistic demands. No person with MMD likes to demand anything, but it is a very difficult thing for carer when she's doing 2 or 3 jobs. She might be cooking tea, but then the person with MMD actually needs something and they need it now, and that's understandable. The carer might actually be caring for more than one person. It could be that she is caring for her husband. It could be that she's also caring for grandchildren. And it could be that she's caring for her sister or her mother as well. So she can take on a caring role for many different people. There's financial distress. The carer earns something like 30 cents an hour. So if we work out that how much a carer gets, it comes down to about 30 cents an hour. So really doesn't provide any financial stability. The person with MMD might have given up their job, and the person who is caring also might have given up their job. So that might be 1, 2, or 3 people that have given up their jobs. There is broken sleep, obviously for the person with MMD, but also for the person who is caring to have broken sleep. Now that could be because they are waking up for the person with MMD, or it could be that they are just worrying about everything that's going on in their day-to-day life. Could be worrying about what is happening to their loved one. The caring role wasn't always a choice. You know, it might be by default. It might be because they're the closest person and they're the ones who love the person with MMD. At times there's little to no thanks. Now that could be because it's very difficult for the person to communicate that thanks. They might want to communicate that thanks, but it's very difficult for anyone to communicate that thanks if they've lost their voice. There could be abuse from the person that they're caring for. Now that could be purely from frustration, or it could be that the person just has had enough of their own life. Unfortunately, it comes out onto the people that they love the most, which could be the carer. There could be physical pain. Now that physical pain is from lifting, hoisting, turning, twisting, getting up and down all the time. Especially as we age, that physical pain could be increased. There could be little to no help. Like, is the carer aware of all the supports available? There could be social isolation. They've had to give up their normal roles in the community, their local craft group that they love to go to on a Tuesday, or their mates that they used to go out to on a Friday night. Many carers have their own health problems as well as their age-related risks. So many carers are of an older generation. There is many carers, and they have their own health problems as well. There's a lack of control of a carer. They don't have as much control as what they would like to have. And as I heard, you know, quite recently, there's so much loss of self and loss of independence. The person with MND has lost that independence, but also the carer themselves has lost that independence. So all those stresses can add up onto the carers. No one obviously puts that stress onto carers. You know, if you're the person with MMD, that's not your fault. This is just purely for the carers. That is definitely not your fault, okay? You are doing your best and the carers doing their best. But a lot of carers do not realize that they're under stress until it's too late. Their own health might decline or start to decline, either physically or emotionally. Physically, there can be an exasperation of their own current health needs, whether that be new or recurring health concerns that they had previously. Anything from headaches to chest pain, rashes, brain fogginess, physical pain, aches and pains, inability to sleep, gastro problems, nervous behaviors, low energy, decreased sex drive, skin and hair problems. Now they're just some, there's probably numerous other ones. So if you do have a carer and they're starting to come out with these things, maybe it is stress. It could very much be stress. Anxiety and depression is also another issue. So we'll do burnout. Burnout is a state of emotional or physical exhaustion when you're exposed to stress for long periods of time. It's very difficult to tell the difference between stress and burnout, okay? It really makes no difference. If you can get it at the stress level and help it at the stress level, it certainly stops it going to the total and utter burnout. So the symptoms of carer burnout: withdrawal from family and friends, don't want to go out, don't want to go to any of the things that they used to enjoy doing, cancelling all appointments with family and friends. It might be irritability and crankiness, feeling of hopeless and helplessness. I had a carer on the phone just this morning, and her heightened level of stress is so much that she can almost not even talk. She is so irritable and cranky about everything going on, you know, and it's not from the people with MND and it's not from her. It's just that she has that hopeless, helpless feelings, and there is help out there for that. Changes in your own health. It might be weight loss or gain. I know when I'm under stress, I gain a lot of weight, okay? Other people will lose a lot of weight. So if you've noticed that your carer is losing a lot of weight, that might be a sign of extreme stress or burnout. Appetite changes. Appetite changes because they're not getting enough food. Appetite changes because they're too worried or concerned about their loved one with MMD. Sleep changes. not getting enough sleep because they're helping someone with MND, or just concerned and constantly worried about the person with MND, constantly worried about their future. Getting sick more often. Now that can be minor or major changes with sickness. Can be anything from minor colds, 3 a month, 3 every 2 months, or anything major going right up to cancer. Total and utter exhaustion, absolutely smashed at the end of the day. No energy to even get up, overwhelming fatigue. Use of alcohol, medications, and other substances. Feelings of wanting to hurt themselves or feelings of wanting to hurt the person that they care for. They might be voiced out, or it might be purely in their head. Cardiovascular disease, and an increase in anxiety and depression. Now, I could have got statistics about the anxiety and depression. Obviously, the person with MND has a big possibility that that can happen, the increase in mental health, as in decreasing in mental health and an increase in depression, as well as the person that's caring for them, the carers. So there is quite a lot of statistics, someone who has a terminal illness and someone who is caring for them, anywhere from 50 to 80% of carers can experience an increase in depression. Has anyone experienced some of those symptoms as a carer and noticed that you've been under some stress? Anyone want to talk?
Sorry, Sonny, I have everyone on mute, so let me just unmute everyone and then...
Oh yeah, okay.
I think you'll all have to unmute yourselves. I can just ask you to do it rather than actually do it for you.
Anyone seen anyone that has hit burnout or hit those extreme stress levels that their own health and physical well-being is being affected massively? Okay, that's okay. Certainly something to look out for, whether that's in your loved ones as the carer, or whether that's in yourself, or whether that's in other people that you come into contact with. Looking out for those symptoms. So how to look after yourself. Let's start with the daily one and scheduling in some definite 100% me time. So even if this is just 5 minutes, sitting down for your coffee 15 minutes before your loved one gets up in your favorite chair. Sitting down with your favorite music, your TV show that you have to watch, or getting creative, whether that be knitting or any crafting that you might enjoy. Sitting down with your favorite book or internet show, having a laugh. Laying down for some rest in the afternoon. You're allowed to lay down for some rest, okay? If you are the carer, take that half an hour, 1 hour to lay down with some rest. Set up your loved one and take that time to rest yourself. So that's daily. Weekly or fortnightly, make regular time for yourself. Get out and about to your own health appointments. Get out and about to having a break for yourself and meeting your friends. Making time for those daily as well as weekly ones really does help massively. Make regular time giving yourself a break using family or paid respite. Nobody's going to do this for you, but as a carer, you really need to schedule in those times. Finding a hobby or a craft for yourself, or a relaxation skill. All of us have learned something in our life where we have learned to relax. Now, whether that be exercise or breathing exercises or breathing techniques, there are skills out there that will work for you, but nothing is one size fits all. You have to find what works for you. If I tell you to do yoga and you hate it, that's not going to be relaxing for you. Whereas a 5-minute, 10-minute walk outside with your dog is actually relaxing for you. I have a breathing technique to help me get to sleep, where I imagine myself, you know, a line going over my body, over my eyes, over my mouth, all the way down to my body like a CT scan, and it relaxes me. But if I tell that for someone else, that's not going to be relaxing. There are other breathing techniques and other relaxation techniques that might work for you. Have a Google to see what will work for you. Stay organized. Now that's obviously an easy one to say, but when there's so much going on, it can be very overwhelming with appointments, medications, and even the feeds. And it's okay to say no to family, and it's okay to say no to professionals coming into your place. Don't feel bad to say no to the person coming in and saying, please only come on a Monday and a Wednesday, or please only come the first week of the month. You know, I only want to deal with MND on the first week of the month. The rest of the month, I want to go out and enjoy my family. Okay. Nourish yourself by eating well. This is a very difficult thing if you're caring, whether that be for children or caring for someone with MND. The carers forget about themselves. Forget to eat proper meals, and don't take time for exercise. Maintain your own relationships. No one can make that time, but you can make that time. So if you're the person with MND, tell your carer that they need to go out with their sister, or they need to go out with their friends that they used to go out with, and saying that on Thursday, that's the time you need to go out. They need to maintain their own friendships and their own relationships, and that will help with their stress. And in turn, you will be better cared for as well. Talk to someone such as family, friends, or other carers. There are many support groups out there. If you can find one, whether that be online or part of MNDAQ, chat to some other carers. Chat to your family and friends. Maybe it's about how they can help you. Maybe it's about the stress that you're under that they need to understand. Don't forget to talk to the professionals or your GP. Your professionals and your GP are there for not just your physical health, but also your mental health. And everybody needs to look after their mental health, whether that be me, whether that be Stacey, or a carer, or someone with MND. That is, we all need to look after ourselves with regards to that. Get some help. You don't have to do it alone. For carers, it is very difficult not to think about the future and not to worry about the future. But thinking about today and other strategies will actually get you through this day. If we're constantly worried about the future, it will affect today. It will affect how we are caring for our loved ones. It will affect our own mental health. It will affect our sleep and everything like that. If you can get more sleep, it's certainly advisable. Down there, I've got the care advisory number. You can use that at any time to ask different questions as a carer. So let's go through now. Some of these might be a little bit basic for you, but I'll go through them because some of the people may be purely at the start of the journey. So with regards to the financial distress, okay, there is a little bit of help out there. And Centrelink can provide you with either a carer's payment if you're not on age pension or disability. Now this is income and asset tested, okay? You can't be earning money from a job as well as get carer's payment generally. So work it out whether you are eligible or not eligible for that. Carer's allowance is for most people. It doesn't pay for a lot. Like I say, it's about 30 cents an hour. It doesn't pay for much at all, okay? But that's for the people on the disability or age pension, or for someone who's earning less than 150,000 a year. There's also the essential medical equipment payment. Certainly not a lot, but anything is better than nothing. So if you've got wheelchairs or hoists that always need to be plugged in, you can get a little bit extra from Centrelink. There's also, and don't forget about these, the discounts on your electricity, your car rego, your rates, and you can even get cheaper stamps if you're on Centrelink, okay? So stamps to send to Australia, I think it's 60 cents, but I'm unsure. There's this taxi subsidy scheme. Now this provides your loved one to go for a cheaper price. For $50, instead of paying $50, you get half of that off and you pay $25. There's the companion cards. So you and your loved one can go out to the movies and you only pay for one. You and your loved one can go to the theatre, which you might have always have enjoyed, and only one of you have to pay. No interest loan schemes. Now that can be replacement of white goods, education costs, anywhere up to $1,200, $1,500. Now that's something good. If you're on the pension, it's very difficult to replace your refrigerator too quickly. Continence aids payment scheme might help some people. For those in extreme debt or extreme circumstances, please find a social worker, whether that be at Centrelink or your hospital services, or contact the financial counsellors. Some of you may be totally fine, but others maybe have had major debts before they got diagnosed with MMD. Now this has just added more stress because someone else has to give up their work. Okay, any questions about Centrelink or the other things?
Sonny, I think that there's some issue with some of the audio from some of our participants, just because.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, Jason,
no problem.
Okay.
No problem. Yeah, pity you can't type up the questions, eh?
You can. If somebody,
Oh, can you?
Yeah, if somebody wanted to type up a question, they can just click on the chats on the bottom banner and then put the question there.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Happy to do questions at the end anyway. So respite. You've probably heard this word, go and get some respite. So it's basically just rest or relief from the everyday. Sometimes it is just from the four walls that you are enclosed in, okay? It allows your carer or yourself to rejuvenate and refocus, okay? So this in turn will allow them to be a better carer for you. Now that can be informal respite, and that can be 1 or 2 hours a week, and that can be family or friends, or paid respite, which is the in-home respite. So that's a paid service to come in just to make sure you're safe. They may not be doing a lot, but it allows your carer to get out and to have that socialization that she needs to be able to rejuvenate her own mind. Centre-based respite. This is a respite centre where you might go for a period of 8 hours. So your carer can get her own stuff done purely for that whole day and not have to worry that she is doing the best by you. Community access respite, where you're going fishing or you're going to the shops and doing what you want to do, and your loved one can do her own medical appointments or get to her own things. Residential respite. Now, this is where someone might go into a residential care home, what we used to class as nursing homes, for a period of 1 week or 2 weeks. And that can be up to 63 days a year, okay? Sometimes carers like to have that every 2 months, just 1 week off where she can clear her own head or he can clear his own head, okay? Some of the organisations that may assist people. So for the people who are under 65, there's NDIS. And you need to include in your plan short-term accommodation or respite. And that way it will allow the person with MND to go away for a period of 1 week, 1 weekend, and allow the carer to have a total break. QCSS. Now, like I say, many people are caring for more than one person. So if you're not caring for someone with MND or someone who's not on NDIS, QCSS is for people younger than 65. My Aged Care, so for the person who needs help, who's over 65 years old. My Aged Care has 2 different levels. The first one is a RAS assessment. Now that can be respite and social support, anywhere up from 1 hour up to 4 hours per fortnight. That will allow your loved one to go to her medical appointments, coffee with her friends, coffee with his friends, or go see his own dad or his own children. An ACAT is a package of care used to assist you and the person you love, the person you care for. Now, this can provide, like I say, the 63 days of subsidised respite. It's only about $50 a day. So if you're getting all your food, all your accommodation, all your care for $50 a day, it's actually not too bad. So it's almost that anybody can afford that. With regards to any of the above, just make sure that you find support and support workers that work for yourself if you have MND, but also that you have them working for your carer. We don't want them to intrude on your life or for you to feel uncomfortable when someone's in your house. We want you to feel comfortable. Please send back the bad support workers. Please don't feel bad to say to Blue Care, Anglicare, Ozcare, whoever you get, that support worker is not working for me. I don't want them back in my house. It is your right to get the people that are going to do the best for you, as well as the best for your carer. Other organisations, if you've been around the world for a little bit of time, or the caring world for a little bit of time, some of these organisations have recently changed in the last year or 2 years. So the new one on the block is Carers Gateway or Wellways. And I've got all the details there for you to contact them. There was a few other organisations, but this is the main one. Now, they're all about carer-directed support or carer support planning. So they will sit down with a carer and organise what's going to work for you. How can we input into your life to allow you then to go on and care for your loved one in the best possible way? What is actually going to work for you? They can provide counselling, and they can provide in-person peer support. They also are up to organising and providing an emergency respite. If your carer has to go in for her own operation, or her toenail being removed, or she's broken her leg, or he's broken his leg, that probably needs to be emergency respite. She or he is no longer able to care for you for a period of 1 week or 2 weeks, or even longer. They can do online support, such as online counselling, carer forums, and self-guided sessions. So you can go on and do it yourself and have a look what's going to work best for you. If you have a grandchild or a child who is younger and they are also doing some care for you, then Little Dreamers are under Carer Gateway as well, and they provide some programs just purely for them. So if you have a grandchild or a child that comes in the afternoon and they sit with you, or they might help you with the shower, this Little Dreamers Club is for them. So there's some things such as fulfilling dreams. They might have a dream to go onto the football, go see the local football club and meet the local football club. And because they're involved a lot with their caring, that may never be possible. So they can help with things like that. School holiday programs where they can meet other young carers. And it's purely only on the school holidays, obviously due to school. Teenage programs, mentoring and tutoring for them. So if they're missing out on school because they're helping a loved one with MMD, they can get extra support. Online Dreamers Club, purely for the young people. In-person support and even financial support. So if you want to contact the Little Dreamers part, that is under Carer Gateway in Queensland. In other states, that may be slightly separate. A new organisation I've found just in the last year is Carers Foundation. I actually really like this. I think I'd like to actually go, and I wish I'd posted up some photos. They look amazing. They're held in the Sanford Valley on the north side, where they have programs for 1 to 3 days at no cost to the carer. They provide meals from a chef. They have individual group session, workshops, stress management, self-care strategies, art and music therapies, where you can create friendships with other carers and just enjoy. So it might be just that you need to get away from your house. So if you're a carer, it might be something to look up to. So 1 to 3 days and totally no cost to yourself. Emergency respite for the carer to escape if it is just getting too much. Okay. If you're the person with MND and you think it's getting too much for the person that is looking after you, put them onto these organisations. These are there so that they can support your person who loves you and cares for you each and every single day, but then that in turn will benefit yourself. They also have young carer wellness programs, and that's ages 13 to 19. And they do exactly the same thing as what they do in the adult program, but just obviously on the teenage level, the things that affect the teenagers. Carers Queensland. So Carers Queensland used to be the big organisation in Queensland. They've had to rejig everything because of funding and loss of funding. They've had to rejig things. So they're now providing things for carers such as training. So I believe at the moment they're doing a certificate 3 in personal care work. So this might be for the carers who in the future want to do something else. Okay, they're looking at training or looking at future employment. There is some things with education as well as volunteering. Now this is free of charge. It's called Your Caring Way. So they might have their own goals where they want to pursue those things. Have a look at Carers Queensland because it might be free, okay? They can manage home care packages. And they also have a part of their organisation called Empower Care. And this is one to support someone going into permanent residential care. If by chance your carer is not able to do the caring at home anymore and you have to go into permanent residential care, Empower Care is an organisation, part of Carers Queensland, who can sit down with the person with MND and sit down with the carer and work out what's going to be best for them. They also do guardianship and advocacy. So if there's QCAT concerns or legal paperwork that need to be addressed, then they can help with those. And they also have young carers still, so that might include a bursary to get a computer or something to help with their university. They have counselling and support and other events for young carers. Another place where you might be able to get some emergency respite or some planned respite is through your local palliative care service. Okay, I know Ipswich has incredible places that you can go out to be, and it is beautiful places. There is also places in Redlands and in Brisbane, as well as other places through Queensland. You can only give it a go, all of these places, to see what's going to fit best for you guys. There's local support groups for carers. So your local MMD groups, your local community, church halls or libraries, or even just your online Facebook groups. They can provide such benefit for carers, but like I say, not one size fits all. So it is a matter of trying to see what works for you. Some people love support groups and other people hate them. So it's whatever's going to work for you. Don't forget something as simple as Lifeline. If it is getting too much, they are on the phone just to have a listen to you. A lot of organisations are only 9 to 5. Lifeline has longer hours if it's at 8 o'clock at night when you're feeling distressed. Okay, and they can put you in touch with many organisations or something that can provide ongoing help. There is a lot of help out there, so please, as a carer or as a person with MMD who has an amazing carer and does an amazing job, don't ever think that you're alone. You're definitely not alone in this. But it is a matter that you need to actually seek out the help and support. So if you're the person with MMD and you have an incredible carer, I know that you only want the best for her as well, or the best for him, or the best for your child, and you want them to be supported as well so that they can give you the best care and support and the best love. And if you are the carer, reach out for help, whether that be through any of the organisations that I said, or the general things like My Aged Care and NDIS, and get that help, okay? So pretty much I'm finished. So I'm happy to take questions about individual circumstances, or what you've found might have helped with you yourself and your caring role, or if you're the person with MMD, I'm happy to take questions how you can support your care as well.
Thank you so much for that, Sonny. I have unmuted those of you that I can and asked those that I can't to unmute themselves. So that was, I learned a lot from that, Sonny, so thank you. I really appreciate that. I think that's going to be a really useful tool and resource for many people into the future. But I am keen to see what if we can make the most of Soney's time by asking a bunch of questions here. So has anyone got anything that they did want to ask Soney?
I've got a question.
Sure.
Neville, go ahead.
Let's see me. Oh yeah, I mean, my question. If I want to apply for a discount for the electricity or the rates or the car registration, they're 3 separate organisations. What's the first step that I have to do?
Just ring them up.
But how do they know I'm genuine?
So if you ring them up, or you might have to present. So they will be asking for your discount number, your healthcare number, or your pension number. Okay.
I don't have a pension. I have a level. We have a level 4 package. Is that all?
A level 4 package. So that's a bit different to your discounts. Your discounts come under either Centrelink, your healthcare card, or your pension card. Are you on any of them?
I don't have any of those.
Okay. I'm unsure whether it comes under, you might be eligible for the Commonwealth healthcare card, which is different to all the above, and you can earn up to $65,000 or $80,000. I can send that link through to Stacey if you want.
I'm over 80, just over $80,000.
But you,
so I can't get that.
Just over 80, are you? Yeah.
Yep. I have a care. I get a carer's allowance. That's still from Centrelink.
Yeah, I don't think it comes under carer's allowance. It comes under the carer's payment and the age pension. But let me look at that and I will get back to you. Okay, Neville?
Thank you, Sonny.
Okay, you're self-funded retiree, Neville?
Pardon?
Self-funded retiree?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Well, superannuation, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you've got any, if you're using any electrical equipment, you should still be eligible for the essential medical equipment allowance. And depending on how many pieces of equipment you are using, you get about $150 a year per piece of equipment.
Okay.
So it's not nothing.
It's not nothing, but you know, better in your pocket than someone else's, so go for it. Definitely worth doing that, yeah.
Any other questions?
I've got a question or sort of a comment. We have a relative who has not got MND, but does have Parkinson's. He's quite rapidly becoming more dependent, and their package was he was assessed as level 3, which was appropriate for about a fortnight. So he's only on level 3 support, but I think his wife is finding everything very stressful. But one of the things that struck me was that if you're going to get family or other support, even though it's informal, it probably wouldn't be bad early on to organise a formal roster where somebody from the family would come in half a day a week, or several people might come in, so that is right from the start, even before perhaps absolutely necessary.
Yes, and that's a great idea. It's actually good for, if you're older and you have kids, it's actually good for your kids to know what your loved one is actually doing each and every single day, but also to spend that time with the person with MND, to spend that time with yourselves and have that, you know, connection with your son or daughter or sister or brother, you know. So yes, half a day, awesome. If you've got family around that can do that, that's incredible.
Okay, any last questions? No? All right then, well, thank you everyone so much for joining us today. I hope you found that really useful. Thank you, Soney, for your time. It's been particularly helpful, I think. So we definitely appreciate your input. I have managed to get Soney to agree today to do another presentation for us at the end of April. So more details to follow about that one, but we'll definitely get to see her face in this format again. So I'll let you all go, but thanks again, everyone. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Lovely to see all your faces. Look after yourselves. Take care.
Thank you, Soney, for a very interesting and informative discussion and lots of interesting phone numbers there for me. Thank you.
Oh, good. Take care, Neville. Okay. All the best, everyone. Look after yourselves. Bye-bye.